Hi, we're Harriet and Mauro. We're restoring a beautiful 5-acre smallholding in Spain into the homestead of our dreams. This week, we're continuing work on the ugliest area of our homestead, where we're going to be completely rebuilding our bathroom and making a pleasant outdoor seating area. So far, we have done a massive tidy up of the front and the back of this area to make access a lot easier. We've laid our first concrete pad, built 2 glorious pillars to support a new roof of our outdoors utility area, demolished some of the badly built future shower room, started building it back up again, and we put the basic structure of the roof in place. We prepared it for laying the tiles and figured out how we were actually going to place them. Now it was time to lay them. But first, since we wanted the roof to blend in with the rest of the buildings, we needed to find some more antique tiles, and we knew just where to look. We've been here before, haven't we? We've already pilfered quite a few of these tiles. So we have permission. We do have permission. Stop pilfering.
Vale. Ni idea. A ver, 2, 17 o 18. Cemento. 9, 10, la mitad la tenemos. 13, 14, 19, porque se rompió uno. Pero si cogemos 10 más, estamos bien. Vale, vamos. Es un problema que lo vea la gente. Ya, pero creo que se puede. Digo, y yo también.
What is that?
Just 4 together,
4 in
but they're
1.
really good.
Meanwhile, we've been having some cold nights and frosty mornings lately. Work in the garden is slow this time of year, growth really slows down, and that gives me a chance to prep the beds for the next season. I'm slowly covering all our empty beds with a thick layer of donkey manure followed by straw. I'm not sure if it will have all broken down in time for spring, but if not, then it'll be ready for next winter. We're starting the fire earlier and earlier these days and enjoying lots of cozy time inside. Winter is usually the time of year I undertake an ambitious craft project like this unnecessarily big crochet blanket or the rag rug I did a couple of years ago. With Santi, I've had to be a little bit less ambitious, and this year I made it my goal to repair all our broken clothing. Some things are easy, but other items have required more skill or creativity, but as a member of the craftsy community, I've learned a bunch of new mending skills by following classes on visible mending, clothing repair and darning, which is something I'd never done before despite working with wool for many years. As well as patching up all the odd little holes in our trousers and jeans, I was able to mend this beautiful hand-knitted pure wool jumper and give it life for many more years to come. Craftsy members have unlimited access to over 2,000 expert-led classes in more than 20 creative areas from sewing, knitting, weaving, crochet, all the way through to woodworking, cooking, journaling and writing. There are so many inspiring classes, and what I really like is that many of them are really short and specific, so you end up with a really specific skill or creation at the end, like this absolutely amazing cheesecake which Mauro made as part of the Bold Baking Academy series which he's been following. Dangerous, dangerous, look. at that.
Bring the spirit level.
Don't burn your fingers. Oh,
Almost did.
yeah.
But the woman in the course says that cheesecake is closer to custard than it's to actual cake. So it makes sense to do it with a water bath, obviously.
Crafty have a very special offer for the first 1,000 of you guys who decide to join via the link in my description. You will get 1 year's premium membership for only $1.49. That is like less than a slice of cake, and you could be eating a cheesecake like this whenever you want because you'll know how to make it yourself. Thank you so much to Crafty for sponsoring this section of the video and this glorious cheesecake, and let's get back to putting some tiles on the roof.
There we go. So that's 20-ish tiles. And then I have maybe another 30 there. It's really funny how they're all different colors, sizes. Some of them are wonky, some of them are slightly chipped. I think that's gonna be give the roof some personality. Y la ponemos aquí. Vamos a ponerla. Vale. Y aquí arriba. Cuatro líneas es dividir entre 5, ¿no?
Finally, after some careful planning of where the tile lines were going to go, it was time to begin laying them. The measuring had taken quite a long time because the area we're working with isn't perfectly square thanks to the existing walls, so we needed to check that all the channels between the tiles weren't going to converge and become too small. But finally it was time to start laying them, and as you can see we actually bought new tiles in the end for the ones on the bottom because these are the ones which really protect the roof from the water, and the antique ones can be safely used on top to get the rustic look we wanted. We're just up here on the hill pumping some water this morning. It is really windy. So we're not going to try and lay the roof tiles today with this wind. What happened yesterday when we tried to do that?
Yeah, well, I probably have it on one of the time lapses that I took, but yeah, all the foam was blowing away from the tiles. It's just, and also it wasn't safe to be standing up there, so
no tile laying today. Eventually the wind died down and Mauro was able to continue with the roofing. He's making it look pretty quick and easy here, but the reality was it was definitely a learning curve working with the foam and trying to get the spacing even and neat. Oh, Sandy, why are you all sandy? So, tiling debrief.
Yeah,
we did it.
We made
did
it for the
we
first
finished
time.
it. Yeah, can't believe we finished it.
Well, almost finished it, but
yeah, we still got the sides to tidy up. We've still got to treat the wood.
we got to the first 80%. Now we need to do the second 80% of the job.
What did we learn?
Do you want me to bring out the list?
Bring out the list. That's all right. He's just off to the sandpit.
Or not?
Or not. Gotcha.
I think it's clear that everything we do, it's often the first time we ever do it, and we don't have the guidance or the constant guidance of an expert, so it's to be expected that the result is not going to be professional. I think I'm more perfectionist about it than you are.
I think it looks pretty good.
She thinks it looks pretty good. I think obviously I could have done better. I think it looks a bit crap, but
I think once we do the edges, it'll look a lot nicer.
Yeah, given the circumstances, it turned out okay. And at the end of the day, it's gonna be functional. Like, it doesn't leak. It's waterproof. So in that sense, it's okay.
But it's just really hard. Most of the issues are just with working with the foam. Really, it was actually really hard. We thought it'd be easier than mortar, but it gave us more. It probably was easier. It was probably less work, but it did give us a whole other set of problems.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible material in the sense that it does its purpose and it does its job really well. Like, the tiles are very well fixed, but at the same time...
it goes everywhere.
It goes everywhere.
It goes where you don't want it.
Yeah, it goes where you want it, where you don't want it. If you touch it, something touches it, it's just lost forever. If it goes on your hair or anywhere in your body, like, it's gonna be sticky and it's gonna be horrible.
Tofu's port.
Yeah.
And other places that shall not be mentioned. Got everywhere.
Yeah, tofu.
Had some disasters.
Le voy a dar un toquecito más de espuma para seguridad. It's very sticky, please. It's gone. Is it coming off? We had a disaster. Yeah, then another thing is that we chose to do this with new tiles for the bottom rows, because are the ones that obviously hold all the water, and we use recycled tiles on the top ones. Obviously, all of these tiles some of them are handmade, some of them are like fake handmade, some of them are really old, and all of them are different sizes. So towards the end of the build, like, you could tell that the sort of error that you keep accumulating, like the last row was actually quite hard to fit. I think this is clearly showed us that some jobs are a two-person job, and this, for most of this I did it on my own, but when I had help from friends or from Harriet, it made a huge difference in terms of like how much attention to detail you can put, and also like the timing, because the foam dries up and then you have to go down, and if you're going up and down the roof a lot of times, you just lose a lot of time with that. So there was one row that I did that as soon as I finished it, I had to, like, I think, go make pizzas, so I couldn't really see it dry. So while it was drying, it sort of moved, and it like dried in a position that I didn't want to. And if I had more time and like could dedicate like the whole morning to it or the whole day to it, it could have been I could have caught that mistake and sort of fixed it before it was too late. So that's something that you can probably see, that there's one particular row that it's not as it should be.
But we did it. We have a roof, which serves so far absolutely no purpose because we haven't put the washing machine under it yet.
It does serve a purpose. Like, I've been storing things.
Yeah, we've been storing some stuff under there.
I usually put in the house, so it's actually quite useful to have an extra roof.
Yeah. But I think we're going to move off this project and move back onto something else next week, because we need a bit of a break from that kind of construction work, I think. So yeah, I think we did good. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of you. I didn't do anything. Currently using this. My mini chainsaw seems to be broken, so yeah, if you've watched this channel before, you'll know what a tragedy that is. Yeah. A little axe is a really good tool for the suckers actually, because you can come in really close to the tree and get a really close cut. And from what I have read, like the closer you can cut the suckers off, like right next to where they're growing, the less chance they have of like all sprouting out again in the same place. So yeah, where I can reach, I'm just trying to come in and cut them off with the little axe. And you can see where the worst suckers are coming out is usually where we've come along before and pruned and left a bit of a stump. So here is an example, although that's not always the case. Sometimes they just sprout out of thin air. So I can't really see what's going on with this olive tree because there's a load of cañas that have just like fallen against it from the flooding in the barranco. There's just like a massive, I don't know if they've been uprooted or they've just all sort of got stuck at this point and flopped onto this tree. So I'm gonna try and move some of them to see what's actually going on. More pruning today. It's a marathon, not a sprint, that's for sure. It's actually great recording this pruning because it's really fun to look back when the branch comes down and see the difference that it makes. Sometimes you can't really tell from where you're standing if you're doing it right, but looking back at the footage you get more of an idea and you see bits that you've missed. Obviously on this tree there's just one more to go now. Barley update, it's grown a little bit taller. Yeah, not much more to say. But it's still looking good, I think. Alright, I'm going to work on this tree now. It's going to be day 2 with this tree. I have already chopped a lot of this tree. It doesn't look like it though, so let's see if we can finish the job. Oh, it's very cold today. I want to try and finish the olives today. I've got about 2 hours, I think, while Santi's napping. I'm just going to really try because this job has been going on for so long now. It's just like one tree here, one tree there. It's all I've got time for. The mini chainsaw is back in action though, so that's something. The blade had at some point come off and I put it back on. Not the blade, like the sword. I'd put it back on upside down. Apparently there is a right way and a wrong way, even though it looks exactly the same, so that was that problem. Anyway, yeah, it's just taking forever. We probably should have got help with this job and just got it done in one morning because we don't have that many trees. We could have done it in a day if we had some friends helping, but we need a lot of help with a lot of stuff at the moment. There's a lot of jobs that really are like 2 people jobs and I can't do whilst wearing Santi, so I don't want to like use up our help for something that's not strictly necessary because we have people here, it feels like every other day, helping us with something. So anything I can do technically by myself I try and do. Right, we're back in the secano field. It has rained. Hope that's good for the barley. Oh, let's count up how many trees we need to do in here then. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry barley, 6, 7, 8 olives, no, 9. And then on our little bottom terrace here, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, yeah, that's not going to happen. Well, let's stop talking, get pruning. By the way, this is the section of wall that fell down. I'm standing on the top terrace now and you can see where it's fallen down all to the bottom. So, and it's also not the first part of this wall that's collapsed in the past. But this is all fresh, so we really need to fix this. We need to get someone who actually knows what they're doing to help us do this, and lots of pairs of hands. So yeah, look at the size of some of those rocks. Maybe if I just focus on the ones that are along by the path that everyone sees, everyone will think I've done all my olives, even though I haven't. So I found a few peas growing randomly in this field in amongst the barley, which is strange because I didn't plant them, but sometimes you get different seeds mixed in with the seed that you buy. So I'm guessing this is in with the barley or the alfalfa. But it's interesting because even though the alfalfa never came up, this tells me that maybe peas would do well here if I sowed them at about the same time of year. I don't know, just a thought, but yeah, this is the best pea I've ever grown. Like, they don't grow this well in the garden. So don't know what's going on there. Okay, now for this big one. Day by day, I kept working on the olives. The only good thing about how long this was taking was that I could bring fresh branches to the donkeys every day rather than have a massive glut of branches all at once. Overall, I think we ended up massively reducing their food costs over about the 6 weeks that I've been doing this, and that was by bringing them probably only about a third of the overall amount of branches because there's just way more than they could possibly eat. These olives haven't been pruned by us in 4 years, and I'm not sure how long since they were pruned before that, but some of the branches I had to take out from the middle of these trees were really chunky. Whatever we didn't give to the donkeys whilst it was fresh, we'll just probably try and chip at some point, if we can borrow a chipper, and in the meantime I was just trying to make sure I kept it all off the barley and in neat piles so we could deal with it later. Okay, this is a tough one because there's a lot of really thick branches, I guess they're trunks basically, that are coming up from really low down, so I don't know whether I should cut all of these off because they're probably coming from below the graft. And then the main trunk comes up here and has, I think there's only 1-2 branches that are actually coming off that trunk, so like most of the tree would be gone. Okay, I honestly don't know what to do on this one. If you know anything about pruning olives, I would be very grateful. Look at this one, I think this is looking so good. It's super low. I think we'll be able to pick every single olive off this one by hand, if there are any olives. I really hope there are olives.